What's up everybody, I am Blue Mullet. This is my brand new AKS-74U assault rifle. This is, in my personal opinion, the very best AK that I have ever made. It is my personal favorite in the family, and I just had to bring it back and replicate it for everybody. Going over some of the gun's features, the stock, as you can see, is different from the previous generation. It's a little bit better, a little bit more realistic looking. It was folding at one point, but I removed that feature in favor of a more sturdy design. It turned out pretty good. The handle and trigger guard, magazine release are all very well built and they function pretty good. Handle's nice and sturdy. I used some brown connectors on it. The trigger is 1 layer thick and works very well. It sets every single time. Trigger guard is nice and sturdy, and like I said before, it houses the magazine release lever right there. A fun feature that I decided to include is the selector switch. It's more of a safety mechanism. It does click up and down thanks to this point of the gun right here. So when it's down, it allows you to prime the gun, and when it's up, it obviously will block the bolt from being pulled back, hence it kind of being a safety mechanism. Definitely the star of this build is this new firing mechanism. The whole idea for this design is to just eliminate the use of a pin sticking out the back of the gun. And so I really like this firing mechanism. It works really well. Pretty much your pin is just this row of gray connectors right here. Slides along the black rod, as you can see, and it just gets pulled back with the bolt on the side. And it works very, very well. Although I did slightly modify them, a feature that stays true to the original is the gun's rear iron sight. Underneath the selector switch, we have the magazine well area. It feeds very well and just does a great job at putting bullets in the chamber. The lower receiver of this gun also pretty much carries over from the previous generation of AKS-74U. Moving up to the favorite area of the build for me, the foregrip is absolutely beautiful. This is where your firing rubber bands are going to feed through, and it does a great job of just looking like the AKS-74U's handguard. What's really cool about it is I use some of the brown metallic bronze connectors to try to replicate some wood on the front hand grip. I think it turned out really, really well. A very important feature for the front hand grip is the ability to rest your rubber bands, so that when you're not using the gun, they aren't getting stretched out and getting destroyed. You can activate it, or you can pretty much just rest your rubber bands by taking it off on this side, the 32 size, taking off your 1 or 2 117s off of that side, and then literally just pushing them into the body like that, as you can see, and then you can just rest it on any rubber band that you wish to rest it on. Sometimes I like to rest it right there. So as you can see, nice and neatly done. This is going to allow you to extend the life of your rubber bands. And then obviously to set this back up, you just take your 32, pull it out to where you can grab your 117s, and you're going to want to make sure to have those 117s on your gray spacer. So just pull it, lock it down to this yellow rod, twist it around to the other side, and then you're all set up and ready to shoot. Bullets are going to shoot out right above the barrel. I did this just because it had to line up with the firing mechanism, and second, so that I could try to replicate the AKS-74U's front barrel. This is a very cool feature that I decided to bring back from the Sten gun, pretty much just lining up these tires on the barrel to give a nice cylindrical design. But then I came across these cones in my cabinet, and I think that just looks so cool. The other side of the AK is very plain, however, it is just as good looking, in my opinion, as the other side. I'll just go over it really quickly. A unique feature that this side does boast, the other side does not have, is this miniature connects piece right here. The AK's banana mag is pretty cool. It's pretty sturdy, simple design. It's not as curved as standard banana mags that you'll see on the AK-47. That's because the AKS-74U uses a slightly different banana mag. It's not as curved. The magazines do feed very well. I have integrated a bullet pusher design into the side of them, as you can see working right here. It does a great job at pushing the bullets up, and it has a locking system right here. The bullet for the AKS-74U is one of my personal favorites. It's a gray connector with a blue clip attached onto it. The magazine can hold 6 of these. Another feature for the magazines is they drop out of the gun hands-free. You just rock it in, click it in, take a few shots, and then when you want to remove the magazine, literally just push the magazine release and it will fall right out. It is so cool, and believe it or not, it took me a long time to get that working. Loading the AKS-74U is going to be a very easy process, of course. Go ahead and take your magazine. You're going to want your rubber band to be placed like this, latched under the tan clip, wrapped around to this white rod, and then you're going to want to place it under that white rod, or under the ball socket joint and onto that white rod right there. You're going to use a size 32 rubber band. Should be pretty easy to get that done. Second, you're going to want to take your pusher and pull it down and activate your lock. It's just a manual lock. So go ahead and just push it over and lock down your pusher like this. Second, or third or fourth, whatever step we're on, take your bullets and just stick them in the top. You have access to them on this side to fix them if they go in a little bit crooked. It holds 5 comfortably, but you can take a 6th and just kind of place it on top and get that one in the gun as well. Then obviously take your banana mag, stick it into your AK like that, and then activate your pusher like that. And then from here, you can obviously shoot this thing. It's a good shooter. I really enjoy shooting this gun, enjoy like cocking it and just shooting it back. It's a fun one. Obviously, when you're done shooting, just eject the magazine and put in a new one. The instructions are going to have a slightly different version than what you see here. I made a few changes to this black version while building it, including this. These are micro parts that are plunged through the body and are capped off using a micro black cap on the other side. As you can see, you can't see it on the other side, even with the selector switch down. So it hides very well, and it does a great job of holding the backside of the magazine well in place. Without those micro pieces, the backside of the magazine well, which is this connector here, this gray connector, and it goes inside, it mounts to a red connector, that will just swivel around. So I changed it in the instructions to not use the micro parts. Instead, it's going to use a X-rod peg, end peg, which isn't as good of a connection as the micro pieces. So if you have the micro parts, use them. They're a better connection than that end peg. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and install your firing pin system. This is what you should have made. It's just a red 117 and a 32 size rubber band. We're gonna start on the back. So we're gonna go ahead and take this little guy. I like to lay the rubber band right across the body. And now you're gonna go to the back side and connect this white rod into that yellow connector, kind of hiding at the bottom, like that. Now, you're going to want your bolt to kind of slide nicely up to the front, and you're going to want to use the rubber bands to pull the firing pin forward to about that area right there. And from here, you can flip down your bolt and connect on the red connector onto this blue rod. It's going to be a little tight, but once you get it, you're going to push it all the way down, and it should kind of click in, and then just kind of pull your rubber bands forward, and that should be done. I actually just found a mistake. You're going to want to remove this blue clip and green rod. It should look like this. So all I did was remove the blue clip. Man, and yet another mistake. It's just full of them today. You want to remove this green rod and put it right here. Like this. So once again, just remove the green rod from here and put it there. It turns out that it's actually very easy to get to this piece. All you need to do is remove the Y clip off of this blue rod right here, and then you can just remove this entire shell after you remove your selector switch, and then you need to remove this yellow connector, which is right here. Afterwards, you can take this piece and stick it right in there into the red connector, like that. This is the old style. The new style that is seen on the black version of the gun has a miniature connects rod going through here, and it's just capped off on either side. If you have the miniature connects pieces, use them. They're so much better than this little black or the little gray clip. But if you don't, just stick with this gray clip and it'll work just fine. And just like that, you are done with your AKS-74U. Thank you so much for building and watching the video. It means a ton to me. I hope you really enjoy this gun. I think it looks so cool. I think its firing mechanism is really sweet. Of course, go over your gun, make sure that everything is working as it should. You know, your trigger mechanism, your magazine release, your bolt, make sure that's working nice and smoothly. Make sure that your selector switch, or in this case, it's really just a safety, is clicking as it's moving. If it's not, then that just means that your yellow rod right here, that guy, is not grooved correctly. And what I mean by that is it's probably sitting in that groove where it's not supposed to be. It needs to be up here. So just make sure that's correct. Make sure that your rubber band power system is sitting on the gray spacer. As you can see, I have the 117 stretched to this guy, and then the 32 is just wrapped around to the other side, like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and shoot it, make sure that it works. Should have your banana mag all loaded up. And so yeah, let's go ahead and insert it into the gun. Just go ahead and rock it in. Make sure that top bolt doesn't come off. Should click like that. And go ahead and activate your pusher like that. And so let's go ahead and see if it shoots. Pull it back and just shoot it. Oh yeah, no problems, of course. I really do appreciate you guys building all these guns. It means a lot. And yeah, just for staying tuned and for staying with me throughout all these years. It really does mean a lot. But obviously, when you're done shooting, you just eject the mag and put in a new one. So yeah, that's the AKS-74U. Thank you once again for building. It means a lot. Let me know if you have any mods or suggestions to the gun. I think it looks pretty nice. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. And until next time, peace out.